Hey guys, so my name is Leon, and today I'm gonna be doing another deck profile. This time I'm gonna be doing a deck profile of the Ice Barriers from the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure deck. Um, this variation might look similar to some of the other variations you see online, but I made a couple of changes in the variation. Kind of suits more to my style of play, which is I'm not really like the type to what you call rely on the extra deck too much, but I do have extra deck cards in there just just to have it in there just in case. But yeah, with that being said, let's just get into the video. So with my deck, with any of my decks that I try to do with deck profiles, normally I put 45 cards in deck instead of the 40 because I like to have the extra 5 card variety just in case. I do have a side deck of 15 other cards in addition to the 45 cards I have in there just in case I want to swap some cards in now based on opponents. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So, the first cards let's go to the monster cards first. So I decided to put 3 of the Rebuilder, the Ice Barrier. It's a really good card. It helps. It's like one of the staples of the Ice Barrier decks. So obviously I gotta put 3 in there. And this deck, for the most part, is probably gonna not probably. This deck is for the most part. I bought 3 structured decks for the Ice Barrier, so it's like basically it's in line with the $30 budget structured deck version. And I do have like an extra deck card that I didn't get from the structured deck, but from some of the other booster packs I bought, like from Maximum Gold. And I will reveal what that card is. I think around the end part when I go to the extra deck. Anyways, reveal the Ice Barrier has to be in there. It's a really good card. It will help out with the staples for my Ice Barriers. So, yep, I have 3 of those in there. Next, I have Speak of the Ice Barrier, which is right here. Pretty good card. It's another staple that, especially with Ice Barriers, you gotta have them in there. It's gonna be really crucial to help my Ice Barriers come out, you know what I mean? So, yep, gotta have 3 of those in there too. Okay. Next, I decided to just put 2 of the Hexa in there. Because for the most part, yes, it has a good effect, but I don't like putting really weak monsters in there unless it has like a really book effect or it will help summon my Synchros. And even though it's a pretty good card, I decided to leave it at 2 so I can fit other cards in there, basically. So I also only have 2 of Prior to Ice Barrier, which is a pretty decent effect. If I control a Ice Barrier monster, I can special summon it. I can go into my other cards, and then I can also really special summon any level 5 or higher. But its effect's pretty good because let's say if I had another level 2 Aqua Monster or Warrior Monster, not Warrior Monster, what I'm saying. Anyways, I have another level 2 Aqua Monster on the field already. I can exceed into I have okay, so the card I'm talking about that I was gonna reveal the end, totally awesome. So let's say if I have like another level 2 Aqua Monster, which I do, I can exceed into totally awesome, which is the card I got from the Maximum Gold booster pack. Well, actually I bought the box. So yeah, I can just exceed into that on the same term if I wanted to. So I just have 2 in there. Next, I have 2 General Rains, the Ice Barrier. I don't like that as level 5, but it has a pretty good effect. It basically is like a kind of a monster version of Marco Cosmos. And if I had more, more time and energy, and if I could find the cards easier without relying on buying online, I would try to make a Marco Cosmos deck. But I think it's only limited to 1 anyways. But it's good to have like monster cards that has similar effects to it. The only reason I didn't want to put 3 because it's level 5, so I don't want to have like too much, as they say, bricks in the hand, because then I would have to put like Mausoleum of the Emperor in there, which is a field spell card where you have to pay, let's say for this case, to summon him 1,000 points. I can normal summon without 3 monsters, so that's why I only have 2 in there. Yeah, it can kind of be set special summon itself, and I can special summon itself, and I can synchro into Trishula for example, but it's good to have 2. I think 2 is fine. Next, I have 2 Defender Ice Barrier. It's a really good card, and it's a tuner too. So the only thing is, it's a level 3, which is You know, it's kind of it is good defense, but offense is terrible, to be honest. But if I control the Ice Barrier, basically is a good wall I can put up there. I know nowadays the like monsters that can kind of help you build all like the Command Knights or Captains for like for example, it doesn't really mean anything, especially you can have cards to pop cards or remove from play, especially with the modern day Yu-Gi-Oh format and stuff like that. But it still has a good effect. Let's say if I have two of these on the field, then I can't. It really can build that wall, which pretty much what I mean by wall is like your opponent cannot attack it if it has a certain condition. So basically, what this card does, if I can have it in defense mode, and if if I have in defense mode, let's say if the monster only has 15 or less, it can attack. But since it has 16 defense, anything with 16 defense or higher, it cannot attack it, unfortunately, for the opponent. So that means they have to pop it with like effect cards and whatnot. So they can't really like attack into it. Which is why I kind of put two. Some of the decks I see online only has one, but I decided to stick at two. And also the tuner, which is pretty good. So two is better than one in this case. I also have two Chromancer, the Ice Barrier. It's also another good effect, kind of similar to Defender, which if I control the Ice Barrier, Nola for higher monsters can clear attack. So kind of could build a wall. The only thing is it stops me from attack as well. But if I needed to stall and have one of like another Ice Barrier, I can kind of stall until I get, better cards in my hands and whatnot. So, and this is also Aqua, so I can once again use this to exceed to totally awesome. So that's why I have two in there. I was gonna have one in there, but I'm like, I'm gonna need some defense, you know what I mean? So just in case. All right. And then I have two Silent Angers, which is good for water decks. If I know a water monster, I can special summon it from my hand. I just cannot special summon other monsters from my hand, which that's fine. I could just use it as a synchro or to exceed or to link or whatnot. So it's a good card. Also, I have two Zunch. I don't know how to say Zunchi of the Ice Barrier, I think. Yeah. And it's another level 2, but it's not Aqua, but it's just a warrior. It attributes cards plus some one level higher master from the hand. So I can combo that with General Wayne, which is okay. I know it has another effect, but I'm not gonna read the whole thing. Okay, it's a decent effect. So I have two in there for now. I might add 3 or just leave it at 2. I don't know yet. Then you have Strategist of the Ice Barrier. I can spend one Ice Barrier monster from my hand to the graveyard, draw a card. Let's say I could use that to send General Wayne or whoever card I need to send the graveyard. It's like a Fool's Burial, and it's Ice Barrier, so it's pretty good. Dance Princess of Ice Barrier is the last monster. So with this, if I control another Ice Barrier monster, I can reveal any number of Ice Barrier monsters in my hand, and let's say get rid of some of the spell shots of my opponents, just send it to the hand so I can kind of do some OTK combos. And it has a good high attack power 17. I wanted to add another one, but I want to see how I want to test play it and then see if I need a second one before I add it. All right, let's keep going. Let's reveal now. Let's move on to the spells, which I have a good amount of spells. I think I have 22 monsters, I think 8 traps, and 15 spells? I don't know. I'll just recount later. So I have 3 of the Medallion Ice Barrier. Add 1 Ice Barrier deck to hand. Pretty simple, good effect. You know what I mean? So there's that. And then I have 2 wins over Ice. Not 2. What I'm saying. 3 wins over Ice Barrier. Pretty good effect. 3 Ice Barriers for some from deck that's level 4 or lower. So I can, I don't know, do some combos with that. I can do some test plays. Then I also have, I have 3 Trees and Trains of Ice Barrier. Pretty good cards having there. Gotta have 3. And a lot of the decks, a lot of the variations have like 3 each of those spell cards. So if I want to take one out, just in case to add another spell card that could be helpful, like a Geki, I might do that. Then there's 2 surfaces and 2 salvages. There we go. Along with 1 magic triangle, the ice barrier. And surface and salvage are good cards that can rescue my water monsters from my graveyard with salvage. And yep, service I can special summon defense position. Salvage I can add it 15 or less to my hand. Pretty good. And then we're on to magic triangle, the ice barrier. Let me pull it up. There we go. Reveal 3 ice man, different names in my hand. Target 1 card my card. Target 1 monster my opponent controls. Destroy that target. So I summon 1 ice barrier monster from my hand. So it's a good spell card for ice barriers. I might add 2, I don't know yet. And then there's obviously you gotta have monster born. So summon plays, sinkles, whatnot. Added a monster born in there. And then there's 3 Phoenix chains. You know, I can do interruptions to my opponent. Could pop it, stop their plays. Well, not pop it, but stop their plays, slow the opponent down, blah, blah, blah. And then I also have 3 crackdowns, which is pretty good. It's actually a really good card. Really good card. I want to see if I can get more of the crackdown cards to add to my other decks. If that I can create space for them. The target one face a monster my opponent controls, take control of it. Like, I know it cannot attack it or use its effect. That's fine. I could use it for single player to sacrifice some stronger monsters. It's a pretty good effect. And that stops my opponent from attacking me with those monsters. So obviously it's really good. And then this one, Teletricera, pretty good effect. I'm not gonna read into it. It's gonna take a while, but I decided to have 1. Maybe I'll add a second one. I don't know yet. And finally, Heavy Storm Dust. So obviously, Giant Tuning, I think, and Heavy Storm's banned. I did current ban list. It may be unbanned. I don't know. March's ban list is coming, so I'm doing this on March the 1st, by the way. So anyways, I haven't read the ban list yet. It's a pretty good card. I know a lot of the variations of the decks don't have this card, but I like to pop my opponents face downs and get rid of them. So, you know, so obviously this is good. This is only good card to activate on your opponent's turn, not your turn. Should not activate on your turn whatsoever. But that's fine with me. I could just be like, as soon as my opponent's turn, before it ends, they have a good amount of face down, just pop it. So I might add a second one depending on how my test plays go. That's it for my 45 card deck. So, you know, now let's get to the extra deck. So, like I said, this is my only X-Seed in there. Totally awesome. If I can get some Link water monsters that can fit with ice barriers, I'll look into that. But it's pretty good. Like I said, aqua monsters that you see before, I can exceed into that. I have 3 of the new Trizla Zero Dragon. Okay, let's put that away. 1 of the Deloin. Oh, it's a nice looking tiger, by the way. 1 of the regular Trishula. So you can have 1. And same with 1 of Deloin because the ban list. 3 of the Gunuin. I don't know how to say it. Yeah, 3 of those. And last but certainly not least, 3 of the Bionic Dragon Ice Barrier. Ooh, I kind of like the design. Design is kind of fire. Anyways, that's my extra deck for now. I may add some more Link or Exceeds if I can. Looks kind of fire. I'm not even gonna cap. Looks really good. The thing is, I know it's not like a lot of people, like when I seen the reviews before it came out, a lot of people didn't really like the ice barriers, but if you really like not practice what I'm saying, if you really add like, you know, certain cards to it, you can make it broken or make it at least decent enough to play. But hey, like I said, for me, I'm just coming back to Yu-Gi-Oh! After kind of being out of it for years. For me, when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh!, I always quit and then I always come back. So hey, who knows? Maybe I'll quit again soon and then come back a few years down the line. But with that being said, let's go my extra deck. 1 Gen X controller. I was gonna add it to it, but I decided to not take it out because I wanted to be strictly waters. Gen X Undyne, it has a good effect, but it's kind of like, I don't know. It's because the only way to keep in there, I had to keep Gen X controller in my deck, and I decided maybe I should make another like machine deck separate to the Ice Bearers using those cards. One General Wayne in my extra deck, not extra deck, side deck. What am I saying? One Prior of the Ice Barrier, one Warlock of the Ice Barrier. I might put in my main deck, I don't know yet. One Zuni to the Ice Barrier, side deck, because these are all side deck cards, by the way. The third Hexa, the Spirit Ice Barrier, I decided to keep at 2. 3 Aqua Spirits, depend on what deck I might play, I might add it to it. The second Magic Triangle, the Ice Barrier. Another Terra Trishula. And finally, last but not least, the other 2 Heavy Storm Dusters, which I might add, the one of the X one in there just so I can pop more opponent's cards. But yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for looking at my video. Let me know what you think. If you have any card suggestions, I might look into getting them to add to the Freezing Chains deck, but we'll see. Anyways, guys, thanks and adios.